Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 28 of the Computer Business Marketing Show. Today's episode is brought to you by Computer Business Breakthrough. Computer Business Breakthrough is an online training program specifically designed for IT consultants, taught by myself and Lisa Hendrickson. In the training, we teach you how to escape the grinding break-fix mindset of cheap clients and feast or famine finances so you can focus on becoming a truly sought-after expert in your field. This month only, get 50% off the course at computerbusinessbreakthrough.com. It's also brought to you by TechSite Builder. TechSite Builder is a hosted website builder that allows you to quickly and easily get a clean and professional website up and running for your computer or tech-focused business. Save time and frustration with TechSite Builder. Learn more at techsitebuilder.com. On today's episode, we talk about how to scale your IT business with confidence. What does it take to be $1 million MSP? Our guest, Stuart Warwick, will share the secrets. Plus, we discuss if it's better to send short emails every day or one long email every month. And how should you handle a customer that just won't shut up? All that and so much more coming up right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Computer Business Marketing Show. If you own or work in an IT services business, this is the place to be to learn how to get more clients, keep them happy, and grow your revenue. You can watch, download, and or subscribe to all show episodes at computerbusinessmarketing.com. You can also catch our live stream on Facebook every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Just be sure to like the TechSite Builder Facebook page, click on the following tab, and then select See First so that anytime we go live, it'll pop to the top of your Facebook feed and you can catch us live. We love interacting with you guys live on Facebook, getting your questions, answering the questions, seeing where you guys are from. We got folks from all over the country here today, Florida, Chicago, Denver. So love to hear you guys in the live feed. So today, guys, I'm really excited to have Stuart Warwick on the show. Stuart is going to, first of all, he's the founder and creator of the Scale with Confidence program for ambitious but stuck IT businesses. And today we're going to talk about scaling your business with confidence. So what that means is, as you do the marketing and it starts working for you, you're going to start getting more clients. And I've talked to a lot of business owners who ended up crashing and burning because they scaled too quickly and they couldn't take on all those clients and they had stumbling blocks and problems, and they either went out of business or they had to close down their shop or they just really struggled to meet the needs of their clients. So we're going to talk about how to handle that and some other things around how to think like a business owner who is going to be successful and is going to scale their business. And that's where that confidence comes in. So I'm real excited to dig into this. This is going to be a fun episode. But before we get into the interview, just wanted to do a couple housekeeping things. First of all, we're really active in Facebook, right? We stream this to Facebook. A lot of great IT business Facebook groups out there. I just want to give a shout out to one that I've been enjoying recently, and that's the IT Business Owners Group. The Facebook group is IT Business Owners. You can just search for that in Facebook and you'll find it. It's it's very engaging group. And the cool thing is right now they're branching out to a website. So it started as a LinkedIn group, then it moved to a Facebook group, and now they're creating a website where you can go and sign up for free and register as an IT business owner, and then connect with other IT business owners. They have the connection there. They have this cool map of the United States where you can see where all of the members are located. And then they also have a lot of cool vendor discounts, including TechSite Builder. So if you jump into the IT Business Owners group's website, make sure to sign up. Again, it's free, and then you can take advantage of those discounts and connect with other IT business owners. I heard from the owners of the group that they've got some big plans coming up in the future about how to make that website and group even more awesome. So I thought I'd just give a little shout out to them, doing a great job over there at the IT Business Owners Group. Check it out if you haven't been there in a while, or if you haven't been there at all, check it out. Again, it's IT Business Owners Group in Facebook. Let's see, was there anything else? Nope. Okay, so let's jump into the Facebook marketing group. Now that's my group. That's another group I recommend you be in. It's called Computer Business Marketing. Just go into Facebook, search for Computer Business Marketing, and you'll find the Computer Business Marketing group. We have a lot of great conversations going on there, and I just wanted to kind of highlight some of the best conversations that I've seen happening in the group. One of the conversations that someone posted, Shay posted this, and Shay asked, what is the best approach for ending conversations with customers who start telling you their personal life stories? So this was we got a lot of comments on this one, and I think people feel very strongly about this. A lot of the comments were about, that's kind of your job, right? If you're a computer tech or business owner or whatever, and you're going to someone's house and working on their computers, that's kind of comes par with the course, right? You're going to have to talk and interface with the client, and a lot of times you go into a client's house, they might be lonely, or they might, just want someone to vent to, and you happen to be there, so they're going to vent to you. So a lot of the comments we got on that post was, that's a good problem to have. That means they trust you, and then you just gotta have to deal with it. And then they talked about some polite ways to ease yourself out of the conversation. You could mention that you have another service call you need to get to, and you want to make sure you get there on time. You can say that, you can start trying to interject your own story, and maybe that can, help them end their story. You can tell your story, and then you can kind of wrap up the conversation. There were some funny comments as well. But I mean, it's personal, but I think it's also part of being personable and just kind of balancing the, trying to be the person's friend and trying to hear them out with also, you have a business to run, right? And you got other clients to see. So that's kind of what's been going on there. Stuart, I'm curious how your thoughts on that topic. If you're interfacing with a client and they just won't shut up, what do you think would be a good way to handle that?
Yeah, you're in the service industry, so you've got to build that relationship. You've got to leave that good feeling behind when you leave, but at the same time you're running a business. So go in there with a plan. Think, okay, you probably know this type of client. Just look at your watch and say, it's been fantastic serving you. I've got another client just like you, just down the road. Right. If you're happy with my service, yes, no, bring the subject back to the task in hand, and just express urgency. But, it's been brilliant working with you and listening to you. I'm really sorry or happy for you. Time to go. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Acknowledge what they're telling you, but then
make them feel that they're obviously lonely or they want some attention. So acknowledge the attention, but take control of the conversation.
Right. And, I think honesty is the best policy here, right? It's true that you got more business to do. So you just say, it's been great catching up with you, but I really got to run. I got other clients. And I can't imagine anyone not understanding that, right? I mean, unless they're, something else is going on, they should be understanding that you've got to move on. And I think that's what we're seeing in the comments as well. John says, you're building a relationship so you can get referrals. Yeah. And that's true, right? You want to, not only is it because of that client that you want to help them and have a good relationship with them, but also that client, every client can be a potential referral machine for you, and you want to keep those relationships going. And then Mike Slodowski says customer service comes with the job, of course. Yeah. And we should know that getting into it.
But not counseling.
Exactly. Yes. There's a fine line there. Cool. Another post we got in the Facebook group was, this was a question I asked. I asked, is it better to send a long email every once in a while or shorter emails more often? And I truly wanted to hear people's response to this. I feel like there's situations for both, but I wanted to hear what folks had to say. And so I think the consensus was that short emails more often is better, because people have short attention spans, and you want to give them just a very actionable one piece of information that's very actionable in a quick email, let them see it, and then take that action and then move on. But if you do that, then you can get away with doing it a little more often, I think, than like once a month or something like people normally do. Like Josh Zuckerman said, for example, shorter is better. I tend to be too verbose in my emails and my clients only skim over it. He's trying hard to be shorter with emails. Bruce Corson says, short, people seem to only respond to one point or question in any one email. So I asked them if they'd like to meet at, so here's an example. He says, I asked them if they'd like to meet at 10 a.m. or noon to set up a backup service, and then they'll reply, yes, let's meet. I'd like to do that. But they didn't pick a time. So you definitely have to be concise and clear in your emails. I don't know. What do you think about that, Stuart?
Well, if the emails we're talking about are relationship building ones rather than logistical ones, then it goes against the grain, but daily is key, because the whole point of relationship building is being there at the right time when someone's got a problem, or they think, where's that guy that keeps sending me these emails? And if you're turning up frequently daily with something of interest, if they click on it, then you're top of mind at the point that they need you. Nobody needs you until they need you. So
I think that's the key, right? Of interest.
Marketing. Be interesting and be frequent, so that you're top of mind and you're visible for when they need you. It's advertising.
Excellent. So, a lot of folks, I hear the pushback from folks in the group sometimes saying, well, I hate getting spam emails every day. I don't want to be spammy to my clients.
Don't be spammy. Be interesting. If they've opted into your list, then there was some value at that point. So as long as you're still of value, you've got emails in your list you don't delete, but you never read them all the time, but you do occasionally. So you've got a relationship, even though it's a latent one. So I'm a fan of regular and often, as long as you're interesting.
Yeah, because think about it. If you send an email once a month, and then the time you sent it, at that time of the month, that person happened to be busy, or they just had too many emails and they just skipped over it, you lost that email for that month. So instead, if you're sending those short emails, they might miss a couple, but they might gravitate to a couple too, especially if there's a couple topics there that they're really interested in. But you don't have that opportunity if you're sending emails once a month. Cool.
Absolutely.
Yep. Definitely on the same page with that as well. Sounds good. Okay, cool. So so that's what's going on in the Facebook group. We got cool topics like that that are occurring regularly. So if you guys if you're not in there, would love for you to join us there. Just head on over to Computer Business Marketing, search for that in Facebook, and you can join us in the group. I ask a couple quick questions when you request to join in the group, just to make sure you are an IT business owner. It's funny though, because you do get like just random people trying to request to get into your group, or like spam people or whatever, but they never. Sometimes most of the time they don't answer the questions. Sometimes they'll answer the questions, but it's just like a one-word answer that has nothing to do with the question you asked. So it's really easy to manage a group, because if someone actually like takes the time to write a thoughtful answer to the questions, then that they're going to be a good member of the group. So definitely love to see you in the Facebook group, and we'll see you there. So before we jump into the interview, which I'm excited to get to, I just wanted to give a shout out to our first sponsor. We do have two sponsors today. The first sponsor is one you might have heard about before but haven't heard about recently, and that is a course that Lisa Hendrickson and I put together a couple years ago. It's called Computer Business Breakthrough, and we're doing a special sale for November only. So this is kind of to kickstart you guys into the new year. If you join the course now, it'll basically last you into the new year, so you can start learning this stuff and then be ready for 2018. And that's kind of why we wanted to do this sale now. So check it out. It's at computerbusinessbreakthrough.com. We call it a business acceleration training for IT entrepreneurs. And what it is it's kind of Lisa and I's story about how we were able to grow and accelerate our own IT businesses. And both of our stories are similar in that what we decided to do is we decided to focus on a narrow niche. So Lisa was focusing on Office 365 and Outlook, and I decided to focus on WordPress and websites. And once we both kind of narrowed in our focus, we were able to, everything became easier and clearer. Our marketing was easier. The way we delivered our services was easier because we were able to really give like white glove service because we were only focusing on one thing. And then you're able to become an expert on that one thing because you do it over and over again and you learn all the quirks and you get to know it a lot better than people who are generalists. So I'd love for you guys to check out Computer Business Breakthrough. What it is it's 10 training sessions, and in each session there are multiple videos, and the sessions cover things like how to choose a niche. So if you don't know the niche you want to choose, we'll help you choose it. We talk about setting the right price, so pricing yourself as a premium consultant instead of just a tech. We talk about things like service delivery, choosing good partners to work with, because if you narrow down on a niche, you're going to want to refer your clients out for other things that you're not an expert at. So just like Lisa and I made a good partnership where I'll refer my email clients to her, she refers her website clients to me. It's all about choosing great partners. We talk a lot about marketing. We go talk about podcasts, webinars, blogs, social media, all the kind of marketing you can do online. And then we end the course talking about operations, business operations and analysis, how to analyze how your business is running. And then we end the whole thing, and I think, Stuart, you'll like this, with growing and scaling. So we talk a little bit about how to plan for scaling. And, we touch on our experiences with it, and we have a little bit of experience with that, but I know there's a lot more to learn, and that's kind of where Stuart's going to step in today, and some of the resources he has. But, check out Computer Business Breakthrough. We've had some students go through it. They've loved it. When you join, you get access to all those videos, as well as access to a private Facebook group where you can talk with like-minded folks and work through choosing your niche and building your business the way that we have. So head on over to Computer Business Breakthrough. We're giving you 50% off only in the month of November. So check that out and enjoy it. All right, guys. So that's going to take us to the interview for today. Just as a reminder, our guest is Stuart Warwick. He is the founder and creator of the Scale with Confidence program, and that's for ambitious but stuck IT businesses. So Stuart, welcome. Thanks for being a guest.
Thank you. It's great to be on the podcast.
I'm excited to do this. Now, before we jump into the interview, I like to just give an opportunity for my guests to give us a little background. So just give us the quick story about where you started from and how you ended up where you are today.
Well, about 7 years ago, I came back from acting as CEO for a business improvement business, and came back to the UK and knew I'd be leaving. And do I get another job or do I go and set another business up? And I loved building businesses, and I loved, as a leader, developing my people, growing them. And I recognized that there was a thing called business coaching out there, and set a business up doing that. But 2 years ago, I niched it into the IT space because I had some IT clients that I recognized that were really benefiting from the work I was doing. And some further research I did within the, we call it the HMRC, I think it's the IRS over there, because I'm in the UK, not far from Cambridge, just north of London. And less than 3% of all IT businesses turn over more than £1 million. And it's pretty similar from what I hear with such businesses in the US. The majority don't get above $1 million. Why is that? And something gets them stuck. Okay, there's a lot of sole traders, but not. There's also a lot of employee-based businesses as well. So I've had years of kind of working on businesses, growing them. I had a business in Europe in the 90s, which was my mid-20s, very entrepreneurial, exciting. The wall had just come down in Central Europe, if you can remember and hear about that. And
of course.
Western marketing was beginning to be accepted, and it was a bit like the Wild West, but out in Central Europe, and Eastern Europe at the time. So very exciting then. So using that experience now really to help establish business owners take their businesses to the next level, because 97% of them are not all stuck, but would like to get more from what they pour themselves into every day.
Yeah, I think, you talk with business owners and you ask them, are you happy with where you are? And just being an entrepreneur, you're rarely happy with where you are, right? You're always wanting to grow and you're always wanting to get to the next level. And I think, the majority of folks listening and who I talk to are struggling with something and wanting to grow to the next level or grow, like you said, to the $1 million. I mean, that's the big, in the sky goal that everyone wants to get to. And you're right. I mean, most people aren't there, and most people will never get there. And I think, there's always something that gets them stuck. So what are some of the things that are holding businesses back from going to the next level?
Well, the purpose behind scaling is the whole point. You get to this size where you've got the funds and the revenues coming through that you can afford to put the infrastructure in to get it working as an asset for you. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work for you and you work for it, what have you got? A job. Even if you've got a few staff and you can't get away from it. So the reason $1 million, £1 million is kind of a nice figure. A, it's a sexy figure. Secondly, at about that number on the margins in most tech businesses, a healthy tech business is doing approximately sort of north of 35% gross margin. 45% is great. After you take expenses out for a business of that size, you're left with a healthy net profit. But it's until you get past the 600, 700,000, depending on your overhead structure, do you start making money where you can employ enough people, enough managers to start to get the business working for you. And that's where many get stuck. And this confidence thing is where many get stuck or plateaued having done startup. And they're at $2, $3, $4, $500,000, four or five people. It's good. But the big thing that they all want is more customers. And so when it comes to that marketing holy grail, if you doubled your business overnight, what would break first?
Interesting. So how
Probably
do you plan? Okay, I was going to ask, what would break first? I mean, because if you're the one who's servicing all your clients and you double your clients, you're never going to service them all.
Yeah, even when you've got a few staff, you're finding that all paths lead to you, and it's fine. You cope, but you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. You've got the energy, but actually, do you know what? It gets tiring when you're doing 50, 60, 70-hour weeks. You're fixing servers on a Saturday night when you could be, at your wife's birthday party. You're in trouble, and it's frustrating, and it's wearing as well. So I recognize that there was a real need to sort of show people and work with people how to scale it. And some don't want it, but those that do, and they're prepared to think about doing things differently. And it's the same with your marketing. If your marketing's not working for you, what is it? So what isn't working? What needs to change?
And how do we determine that? Where do we start looking? Say we realize that maybe our marketing isn't set up to help us scale. Some people don't even know where to look. What's kind of the first thing we want to do to get started with that?
Part of it is get knowledge. Go and find somebody who knows how to do Facebook, LinkedIn, postcard marketing, email marketing, whatever it might be. But I think the trick many people do is they flip from one thing to another. They try it, they set it up, but they don't commit to investing enough time and effort to getting it to really work. So pick a distribution media, Facebook, for example, understand it, commit to it, understand how to make it work, learn from the best, and then implement. And test, and you can test, Facebook and LinkedIn. You can test on small amounts of budget to get it to test it till it starts working for you. I think people get drawn in by the hype of the latest thing, and drop what might be working for them before they get it working for them. And so, for example, in scaling my business, I identified that LinkedIn was a key channel for me, and I put all my efforts into LinkedIn. I know others have picked Facebook. Others have got existing lists. Others do partner marketing and find podcasts really work for them, kind of doing a network approach. But it takes time. And that's scary, to give up and then be seduced by the marketing of others that suck you into trying the next fancy thing. So pick something, stick to it, and get it to work for you. And look at what you're doing. Because if what you're doing isn't getting you the results, you've got to examine it and say, okay, what needs to change to get me a different result?
And that's something that I've found with podcasting. The whole you have to wait to let it work, because podcasting is a great example. When you start podcasting, nobody's listening, right?
No.
And nobody cares. And you have to be consistent and keep delivering that value. And over time, you start building an audience, and then magically people start referring you, and you get good guests, and the guests start referring you, and then you start building partnerships with your guests. And then all of a sudden, I run into people that I like in Facebook or at conferences, and they're like, "Hey, you're Matt from the podcast, the Computer Business Marketing Podcast. I didn't know who this person is, but now they've listened to the podcast, and it's going out and it's just bigger than I could have ever imagined. And I think that's any channel like that. But I've been doing this for about 4 years now, and it's only the last couple of years that it started to pick up steam.
There you go. There you go. And that it's scary to commit for that long. It might have been a year before it may have been paying you back with terms of people saying, "Hey, I want to work with you." And so, like having a new website. What is it you need to do to leverage your website? You need to put content on it regularly. You need to have clear landing pages for, offers that you're putting out with your advertising. Otherwise, a great $20,000, $10,000, $5,000 website isn't going to work for you. Mm-hmm. It's that incremental work and it's tough. Marketing is tough. It takes time.
So yeah, in the chat, Leigh Wood says, try, test, measure, adjust, repeat.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good mantra
to
tell
absolutely.
yourself as you're working on marketing.
Absolutely.
So and we talked about this a little bit before the show, but one big stumbling block I see a lot of the folks who I talk to run into is they're not thinking like a big company. They continue to just say, I'm a computer tech, I gotta just go to all my customers and I don't have time to grow my business. And they just think of themselves as just the solo tech, and they want to grow, but they can't get out of the mindset of just being in the business, doing the work day to day.
Yeah. There's nothing new out there in terms of knowledge about how to grow a business or how to do the marketing of your business. Google supplies it all. Just type it in. The key, though, is to do something with the information. And also cliches. There's huge wisdom in all the cliches. Cash is king. You know that. Yeah. I know that. We've heard it. Everyone knows that cliche. And they all go, yeah, okay, yeah. Tell me something I don't know. But I was working with a client literally this morning, actually, an IT client I've been working with 3 months now. And he said, yeah, Stuart, I'm looking into funding to invest, to grow the business, how we're planning. And we just had a conversation about debtors. Cash is king. And he's like, yeah, I know that. You've got $180,000 of outstanding debtors, of which half of that is more than 30 days old. Oh yeah, we're collecting it. I said, if you collected that, you wouldn't need the funding. Oh, so, we know this stuff, cash is king, but we're not doing the things we ought to do to make sure it works for us. And there's a million cliches out there that we know, we nod. Same with information that Google gives. We go, yeah, I know that. That's a good idea, but I'm not doing it. Like daily emails or regular emails. Yeah, I get that, but I'm too busy. It won't work for you. So acting like a business owner, yeah, when you started that business, you had great visions of it setting you free, not quite having the Tim Ferriss, laptop lifestyle 5-hour work week, but it's achievable because a business is designed to ultimately be an asset. And an asset is something that gives you return without you putting effort in. It's It's a bit like having property that you rent out. Minimal effort, regular return, growing capital wealth. A business should become ultimately that, unless you're happy, being at the heart of your business. And I think many get stuck. You're talking about your own journey, getting to that scaling point. It's wonderful having your own business because it's a passionate thing that you want to bring in, give birth to into the world. Your skills being brought alive with the autonomy of doing your own thing. But there's a point at which you think there must be more to it than me doing all the work, even if I've got staff. So what is it going to take for you to get that business to work for you rather than you working for it, to turn it into that asset that gives you a return that if you want to sell it one day, maybe. But if you want to sit back and let others run it for you, with you just chipping in and with your hand on the rudder, then it can absolutely be that. But what got you to where you are today isn't going to be what's going to get you to where you want to go tomorrow. And many of your listeners have probably heard of the E-Myth, classic text, where particularly with tech businesses, his name's gone out of my head right now, but he's talking about technicians. You have to go from being the technician that sets up your business and drives your business to becoming the manager of your business, to then becoming the entrepreneur. And I slightly disagree with the entrepreneur term in turning, you need to become the leader of your business. And if you're leading it, by definition, you're not doing it. And that's the difference in mindset in my opinion, for those tech businesses that have got so far. It's okay, but they know it could be a lot more. And they might not feel stuck, right, but they just think, you know what, I'm working pretty hard. I can't really step away. I'm still doing 50, 60 hours a week. It must be possible to do it differently. And it's because you've got to grow before your business can grow. And my work is, I've got a fundamental philosophy that businesses grow to the size of the thinking of the owner. Businesses grow to the size of the thinking of. So your current thinking, if you're thinking like that technician that's stood there listening to the life story of those clients, is okay, I'm thinking about going out as a technical guy every day. What if I thought about myself as the manager of my business and I sent other guys out? What would I have to do differently each day to behave like that than to behave like the technical guy in my own business? Now, what if I was going to be the leader of the managers of my business? How would I need to behave? So again, who do you have to become to be the person you want to be, or to have the business you want to be? Great sayings, but they get you thinking.
Right, and I think part of that is and the way I interpret that is to think about the end result, and really like envision it and pretend that you are living that end result, and then think about, okay, that's where I want to be. How do I get there? Instead of being where you are and just saying, oh, I got to grow, I got to get more customers, but I'm not sure how. Instead, you're like, okay, I got to be this, I got to be the CEO of my company where I'm not doing the repairs, but I'm managing a team, I'm the leader. How do I get there? And then just start putting it into place one piece at a time.
Yeah, what do you need to do differently? Like your marketing, day by day, incrementally by incremental, to get a different result. And it's hard. You've got to invest money maybe in hiring a manager or hiring some tech guys so that you don't have to be the tech. And that's scary. It takes, you've got to step out of your comfort zone. And again, these words we're using, everyone knows them. You've heard the principles and it's like, yeah, okay, tell me something I didn't know. But until you are prepared to do something differently, you will get the same results. And that might be okay. There are many solo businesses out there that are, earning what they need to earn, and that's all cool. But if you're not happy and there's that thing in the back of your head going, come on, it must be better. There must be more to this business owner lark than just what I'm doing.
And I think the trap people fall into is, and this is perfect because you're right. You're saying those old sayings actually mean something, and if you take them to heart and apply them and and really apply them in your business, you can see success. But people are like, no, that's not going to work. They're chasing the magic bullet, right? The magic thing that's going to, if they just do that one little thing, it's going to explode their business, whether it's Facebook ads or whether it's SEO or whether it's some cool marketing technique that they haven't heard. I run a marketing podcast, and I'm going to be the first to tell you that there's not one marketing technique that's going to explode your business. It's going to start with your mindset, and then it's applying everything and just applying those fundamentals and just focusing on those fundamentals and just grinding it out and changing your mindset is going to be, because I know every time my business has kind of grown to the next level or exploded, it's always because I kind of refocused and thought about it and sat down and said, okay, where do I want to go from here? How do I get there? And it's not some magical thing. It's just refocusing and thinking about where I want to go. And I think you're right on the nose with that stuff.
Yeah. And holding it's like trying to get fit at the gym, isn't it? You know, you think, I'm going to go and lose weight for Christmas or for the beach. And unless you get yourself a trainer or you get a partner buddy or you set yourself a really, short-term but tight goal, it's great to have the idea, but it's easy then to get distracted and end up suddenly back doing what you're doing. Not writing the emails every day that you could be writing.
So that's a good point. Look for accountability partners and buddies and folks, jump in the Facebook group here and ask around, say, hey, I'm looking to take my business to the next level. I'd love to have someone that I can just, send a message to every now and then to make sure we're staying on track with our goals and stuff.
Buddy up.
That's worked great. Yeah.
Buddy up. I have a guy I chat to every Monday at 9:30, and I coach others. I am a coach, and I have a coach. I have two. One is my buddy, and one is a more high-level executive coach.
You're never done learning, right?
Yeah, and we all get in the way of our own self. So because and bringing it back to confidence, Matt, is the reason I created the Scale with Confidence program, and confidence is the key word, because everyone, guys and girls, we don't want to admit that we're not confident every single day of the week. But you know what? We get scared sometimes. We lay awake at night and we wonder if that investment or that new member of staff or that new bit of kit was the right thing. Do I keep going? Do I give up? Do I try something new? And let's accept it. It happens to all of us. But confidence is when we're reassured that we have a plan that we believe in, that we're getting feedback on the numbers that we hoped that we were getting, and if we're not, we do something about them. It's feeling in control. The fear creeps up on you when you feel that you're not in control, and it's when we have a plan, when we have clarity around where we are and where we're going, that we can feel confident in staying committed to our plan. And I think it's kind of you kind of have to put it out there. So look, I know you get scared sometimes. I know you're not sure. However, deep down, what is it you think that is going to make the difference to getting to where you want to go? Okay, let's commit to it and keep focused on it. So it's important to admit that we don't have to be a superhero every single day of the week.
Right. It's that humility, I think, is necessary as well, to just realize that you're always going to need help, and you should always be seeking out the help to help you get to the next level. Yeah,
and so your Facebook group can be exactly great for that, having a mentor, having a buddy, because you both have the same, you've got the same problems going on at different times within your life.
Exactly. And in the chat, Brian says, great show. This totally applies to me right now. And I think I can see this applying to lots of people.
Well, thank you for being honest, Brian, because everyone else is thinking it, but they're not writing it.
And I think I know Brian, and he's pretty good about being honest with himself when he's struggling, and he's over there in your side of the world. He's in Ireland, top
of the evening to you.
So for folks like Brian and others who are listening to this, who might want to explore this scaling with confidence idea a little more, since we're kind of running out of time here, why don't you let folks know how they can reach out to you and maybe some of the stuff you have available for them?
Yeah, for sure. Guys, my website is stuart-warwick.com, Warwick, and Stuart is UART. So that's stuart-warwick.com. The reason I give you that is because if this has piqued your interest and you'd like to understand, get some more ideas about how to scale your IT business with confidence, then on that homepage down the bottom you'll find a resource you can subscribe to called 36 Ideas to Scale Your IT Business. So just log in there and I'll drip feed out some ideas that will really get you thinking. And within it, there's a resource, I think 4 or 5 days in, called the 6 most powerful questions that you can kind of self-diagnose with yourself about what's working, what isn't, and what you might need to do to kind of take it to the next level. So quite a revealing tool, that. Simple but revealing.
I am going to check that out.
Well, welcome. Join in, subscribe, and it'll drip feed out gently, and it'll just stimulate your thinking, and that's the start to growth.
Just asking the right questions, right? Just knowing what
of yourself and your business, asking the right questions, and that's when the light bulbs come on. Then you got to act on them. And Matt, over in the US, I've had some non-IT clients in the past, but I'd like to offer, if I may, a very special but quite small, unique offer. Is if in the fullness of time, some of you think this is really interesting and I'd like some personal help, my work is with my clients on a done with you basis. So if you're in the US and if you're on the East Coast, which helps with the time zone, and you have to apply, I don't let everybody in, you feel working with me would be the right thing, I'd like to offer 2 slots for somebody on my annual program. But because I've got nobody in the US as a client yet, it's mostly UK and Europe based, is if we start program before the new year, I'd love to be able to offer a 50% discount off the annual program. So that's a saving of about $8,000 for just 2 IT owners in the US if they'd like to take advantage of it. But there's a selection process because it has to be right for you.
Right. That's great. So yeah, guys, go check out Stuart-Warwick.com. See what he has to offer there. See if, you got to know him in this interview and see the information he has there. Sign up for his list. If you like what he's presenting to you, I would highly recommend taking him up on that offer, because I know when I grew my business to where it is today, the catalyst for that was getting into paying good money for a program that helped me kind of walk me through what I needed to do to break through where I was at. And it's something you just can't do on your own. I can be a testament to the fact that you need that training, you need that guidance, you need that mentorship, and you need, again, like the peer group or just people who you can bounce ideas off of and ask questions. Can you give us a little preview of like what's included in that annual plan?
Yeah, within that we've got a few minutes. The Scale with Confidence program is kind of got 9 core projects around it, and depending on where you are in your business, we'll configure those to deliver the results that you need to get in your business right now. So across a 12-month period, we'll be doing some strategic planning together, obviously remotely if you're not in the UK, which will build a growth plan for you that will look for us to be turning your business into $1 million, €1 million, £1 million business or more over the next 2 to 3 years. Depends where you are and how fast you're willing to scale. And we will work together though on this every 2 weeks across a whole year, holding your hand, troubleshooting, but keeping you committed to the strategy that we define. Very simply, in 60 seconds, that's it. There's a lot more behind it, but you won't work with me until we've gone through a strategy call and a triage call, just to make sure that the fit is right for us to work together. So it's quite comprehensive.
That sounds great.
And you can put up with a Brit.
So far, you've been very pleasant, so I think that would not be a problem. But I mean, that's a great like New Year's resolution to set yourself, right? Like,
It's great
next
timing.
year, at the end of the year, I'm going to be a $1 million business, and
Yeah.
Stuart's going to help me get there.
In the first 3 to 6 months, even if you were paying my full fees, you should be getting the return on that investment based on the things we'd focus on initially around the sales and marketing. So, but everyone's different.
Excellent. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap up the interview. Before we do that, I'm going to do a quick sponsor message, and then afterwards I'll come back with Stuart and we'll do the rapid fire questions. Just ask him some quick questions off the top of his head. We'll get his answers, and then that'll be it for this episode. So stick around for that. But first, I just want to give a shout out to our second sponsor, and that is TechSite Builder. You all know TechSite Builder. That is, if you've been listening to this podcast, you know it is the platform for computer business owners to build their own website. So it is a website building platform. It's fully hosted, everything's secure, everything's super fast, and we give you the tools that a computer and IT business needs to build an effective website. So what does that mean? That means none of the fluff that you'll get with some of the other services out there where they give you, it's built for like photography websites, or they make these huge images that take up the whole screen, and then if a customer lands on your page, they don't know what to do. They see a pretty image, but that doesn't tell them what kind of services you offer. That doesn't tell them how they can contact you. So the point of the TechSite Builder platform is to give you a very focused page that's going to make it easy for you to focus on your business and not on your website. We give you all the tools you need, and we'll even build it for you. So if you don't have time to type out your content or add the images you want, you can purchase the concierge service, and we'll go ahead and have an expert copywriter write the copy for you, and we'll fill out your website to make it look professional and sound professional, and most importantly, help convert your visitors to customers. So we do that with lead capture forms. We do that with making sure that your contact info is front and center. And we do that with leading the client through a journey. When they're on your website, you want to lead them on a journey to let them get to know you, to like you and trust you, and then eventually purchase your services. And that's what we try to do with TechSite Builder. So check it out, guys. That is at techsitebuilder.com. And we'd love for you, if you're looking to get your website refreshed or it's just not working right for your business, and you need some help, like we've been talking about in this interview, you can't do everything by yourself. So seek out the experts in the particular fields that you need. And in this case, TechSite Builder will be your website expert for your computer business. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and do the rapid fire questions. Stuart, if you're ready.
As I'll ever be.
All right. So first question, what is the biggest mistake that you believe business owners are making with their marketing?
Trying to do too many things at the same time and not sticking to one thing. There's a second piece to that, is not understanding their ideal client. Again, you'll cringe, raise your eyes to the heavens at ideal client, but unless you nail it, you'll be wasting advertising dollars.
It's funny because that's something that people know they need to do, but every time I ask computer business owners, who is your target client, they're like, well, it's kind of this guy, but then it's kind of this person, or I kind of want
anyone with a credit card.
I want to include everybody. But then I say, well, you should come up with a very specific avatar. And they're like, yeah, I know, but I just haven't had time to do it. And it comes back to what we've been saying, you got to make time for these fundamentals because they really matter. And that's a big one. I like that you mentioned that.
And work with someone to define it, work with guys like you. An avatar can be a page or 2 pages long in terms of the definition, because it then helps you with your targeting on Facebook or LinkedIn. It just makes your marketing easier.
Awesome. So speaking of making your marketing easier, what kind of marketing do you think gives you the biggest bang for your buck? And buck can mean time or money. So what is like the most effective marketing as far as the time or money that you put into it that you believe?
I think many who are yet hugely big. Say referrals is the key to what they do. However, referrals require generally you to be doing it physically, face to face, networking. It's not scalable. So the key to kind of getting the best bang for your buck is systemizing your marketing, using the technology that's out there. So if you understand your avatar, you can use whichever mechanism you choose, call it Facebook. You've got to set it up such that it works for you. You know, you've got to, your team understand the processes required to do it on your behalf. You work with an expert, you outsource it possibly, but the key is systemizing it and getting it working so that it's not all about what you have to do daily. It's scalable.
And an example of what isn't scalable is this podcast. and I know because I've gone on vacations, and so what I've done is I've scaled it to the point where, or I systemized it to the point now where if I go on vacation, I can have my VA pull old episodes and post them again. So it's kind of a system where I do it because I like it, but I don't necessarily need to be doing it.
And I think that's a really important point, Matt. If you enjoy networking or you enjoy writing, then write emails, write blogs, do marketing that you enjoy, and don't do the stuff you don't enjoy, because there's plenty of opportunities to do different things.
Love it. Okay, and I'm going to flip the script a little with this question, but I like to kind of turn the mirror back with this one and ask, what aspect of marketing are you personally struggling with recently?
Great question. I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook, and I had a lot of success with Facebook in 2013-14. Then they banned me for no idea why, shut my account down. That stalled things. However, I found LinkedIn being really, really powerful for me. And I'm feeling a bit bruised from Facebook, so I'm not in Facebook so much at the moment from a pure acquisition perspective, but I plan to come back to it. And I'm going to go out and find the best specialist. You know, I know some really, really good people that teach Facebook, and I'm not going to try and learn it myself. So at the moment, LinkedIn, pick one that works for you. I like writing, so I write my emails. And like your podcast, Matt, it's content that's repurposable. You know, this podcast, you get it transcribed, you turn it into a blog, you turn it into snippets of emails, you've got some video. You get it working for you beyond the one-time effort.
There you go. That's the key.
So Facebook was my bête noire recently.
Right. Okay, and then our last question comes from Brian in the chat, and he asks, how do you attract or reach your ideal client from a global market? Interesting.
Global market. Well, again, it's... I mean,
is that really different than in a local market?
It's no different at all. It's avatar. You know, I'm here speaking. Certain people on this podcast will go, I like what he's saying. Others will go, yeah, don't like what he's saying. You know, don't like him. I do like him. That's okay. That's human nature. We can't appeal to everybody. So global, national, regional, same principles apply. Understand your avatar, understand your sweet spot of your business, understand your proposition, your USP. Again, you're all going to raise your eyes to the heavens about USP, but it's the work that needs to be done that will make your marketing dollars work for you.
Great. And I think the key to global is, you know, just put yourself out there like we're doing here, you know, go on podcasts. Podcasts are seen all over the world. You know, write blog posts. The internet is global. So I mean, just being online and putting yourself out there, you're going to reach a global market.
And we're in an exciting time. You know, 20 years ago, we couldn't do this. The technology was there, but it was unaffordable. It was too clunky. You can be global now with your businesses if you wish to be.
Cool. Well, we're going to have to wrap it up there. Again, Stuart,
Fantastic.
Thanks so much for your insights. This has been
really enjoyed it.
A pleasure. So guys, if you want to keep the conversation going, I love to hear from you guys. So if you're listening to this recording, go ahead on over to computerbusinessmarketing.com and let us know what you think in the comments section of the show notes. Also, all the links that we mentioned, including Stuart's stuff that he's doing, all the links that I mentioned, they'll be there on the show notes page. So if you want to check that stuff out, definitely head on over to computerbusinessmarketing.com. And don't forget, again, to join us in the Facebook group. Just search for Computer Business Marketing in Facebook, request access, and we can't wait to see you there. Also, if you listen to the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher, be sure to give us a shout out and leave a review. We love to hear your feedback, and every comment helps so that the podcast can be found by others. Finally, don't forget to check out our sponsors, computerbusinessbreakthrough.com and techsitebuilder.com. Thanks for checking out the Computer Business Marketing Show. My name is Matthew Rodella, saying here's to your success.